guys, it's Jody. Today's video is being brought to you by the TLP Collab, my hometown. I hope you've been enjoying all the other artists so far. I'm excited to see everybody's pieces and been having a lot of fun with this myself. But as some of you know, my hometown is Chicago, and so that's what I'm going to be bringing you today. I'm going to kind of walk you through as we're painting what Chicago means to me. So that's kind of what I'm taking with this piece, and we're gonna go with it. So let's go get started. All right, these are all the colors and cell activator that I'm going to be using today. I'm going to run really quick through all of it. I'm just going to pan over everything. I don't have time because it's crunch time to go through all the consistencies and everything. You can check out all my other videos. I do that extensively in all my other videos. And everything will be listed at the end of the video in pictures and also in a detailed list below in the description box if you want more information. So let's get to the piggies we're going to be using today. I've got Zeus and Show Pony, and then I've got my mix that I created of Sapphire and Taffy with this one. And these three are mixed with my Dutch Boy Jo Sonja pouring medium mix. And then the rest of the colors you see are all mixed with my Valspar Varathane pouring medium mix. Again, this will be at the end of the video and then below in the description box. This is Amsterdam Permanent Blue Violet. This is my mix of the PBO Studio Acrylics Iridescence Blue Black and then the Golden Permanent Violet Dark. This is Jo Sonja's Ultramarine Blue, and then this is the Golden Fluid Naphthol Red Medium. This is PBO Studio Acrylics, the Iridescent Blue Green, and then this is Matisse's Southern Ocean Blue. Those are all the colors we'll be using today in various things, and I'll get more into that as we get into the piece. I've got 4 cell activators. My 3 usual suspects, this is actually Amsterdam. These are all mixed with Australian Floetrol 4:1, 4 parts Floetrol, 1 part paint. This is Amsterdam White. This is Atelier Interactive Mars Black. This is the gold I use with the 2 different golds. You can see the information at the end of the video or in the detailed description. And then this is a new one I mixed up just for today. This is, what do we have here? Ultramarine Violet. I've never used it. We're going to see how it works, but these are all the colors. My pillow I'm going to be working with is my PPG Multi-Pro, the normal white pillow I normally use. So now let's go over the canvas and I'll kind of explain a little bit what we're going to do. All right, for my collab piece, I have got a 16-inch round canvas that I've taped up. I get these at Hobby Lobby. But what we're going to do today is to represent my hometown, which, you know, as most of you may know, is Chicago. I want to kind of do a transfer bloom for my background and then a bunch of different palette knife swipes. It's going to be really chaotic and a bit diverse with the colors I have. And you know, if anybody who's from Chicago can kind of get an idea of the color palette I'm using. But I'm just going to kind of make some palette knife swipes to represent different elements, what Chicago means to me. So that's the high level of what we're going to do here. So now we're going to go back over to the bench and we're going to blow out the transfer bloom portion. Then we're going to get started painting on this. So let's go get it. All right, we are going to do our bloom portion of the bloom transfer here. And I've got my PPG Multi-Pro pillow at the ready. I didn't show it in the colors because you've seen this before. So, but this is the PPG Multi-Pro, and I have got the Zeus and the Show Pony that we're going to be using in this bloom transfer, and then this is the Ultramarine Violet cell activator. So we're gonna get this going. I want to put down the Zeus first. Plenty. And then, gosh, this Show Pony is really beautiful. All right, now we've got this purple cell activator. I've never just used a color. I've always paired it with something else, so let's see what happens. straw. Let that fill in a second. I just want to make a couple of modifications. We're going to wreck it, so not too many. I'm going to kind of come in and like that. All right, I think that's good. Now I'm going to meet you back over at the spinner box and we're going to get started with this piece. This is going to be our background transfer. All right, here's how this came out. So I'm just going to grab some and start laying it down. Go. Right here. What I wanted to use the show pony and the Zeus for was kind of like my backdrop. Because me, for Chicago, I worked downtown for a good 10 years before the pandemic, and I worked in the Sears Tower. And I took the train, and a lot of times I saw really beautiful sunrises, and these were the colors. So this is kind of why I chose this as my background. So, and it doesn't, I don't need it to be perfect at all. I'm really wanting the colors to represent themselves. I'm not as worried about the cell placement, although some of them can be really cool. Go. All right. I'm digging the vibe of that. I'm gonna spin this because I want to stretch it out a little before we start adding some of the palette knife swipes. Ooh, so pretty. These colors are so pretty as they're being stretched out. All right, that's better. I just wanted to soften that up just a little bit before we start adding the palette knife swipes. And I'm going to continue my little story here on each palette knife swipe, kind of what it represents for me for Chicago. All right, so my first swipe, I have got the white cell activator, the gold cell activator, then I have the Southern Ocean blue, and then the iridescent blue-green. And this swipe is going to represent to me, you know, I mean, obviously we have Lake Michigan, we've got all the beaches, we've got the river. It's not these glorious colors, but this represents water to me. So we're just going to kind of start here. For this swipe, I've got the black cell activator, then a little bit of the gold cell activator, then I have the Amsterdam, the permanent, or the blue violet, and then the mixture of the permanent violet dark, blue black. And this one signifies my, actually, before I swipe it, these colors to me signify the Sears Tower. Most of you know it as Willis shower, but I'm a Chicagoan. We call it the Sears shower. It's had meaning for me since I was a little kid, and you know, me and my dad kind of shared that a little bit, but I also worked in it for 10 years, and it was like a representative of, you know, wherever you were, even out in the suburbs, you could still see it. So it was kind of like looming there, and without, so I kind of want to put it here. It was kind of like a beacon, a homing beacon for me, my whole 48 years of being here. And I didn't want to do just black. I mean, that's just too cold and too harsh. So. This next swipe I've got the white cell activator, the gold cell activator, then I have the ultramarine blue, I've got the blue piggy mixture, and the red. And this signifies one of our baseball teams, which is the Cubbies. That's all I'm gonna say about it. All right, this last different colored swipe I'm going to be doing is the black cell activator, the gold cell activator, and then I just have the red because we have other teams in Chicago. We've got the Blackhawks, our hockey team, and we've got the Bulls, and these colors will represent them. I didn't put white in, but that's okay. We've got plenty of white in here. I think that's all I want to put on there. I'm going to spin this. It's very chaotic, and that's exactly how I wanted it because chaos is Chicago. And if I didn't mention already, I chose a round canvas because, I mean, it just represents so many things for Chicago. I mean, it represents, you know, all our sports teams. It represents just the, you know, the cyclical nature of, you know, our 4 seasons here, and just how, you know, just how diverse we are. I mean, it's just, you know, everything always comes full circle. And I wanted this piece to be a hot mess chaos with all the colors representative of what Chicago means to me. And it is not disappointing me whatsoever. So let's spin this out and get this to open up just a little. We're gonna lose some things, but that's okay. I've got all everything represented here. Everything is just opening up so nicely. I don't have too much paint to get off. I don't want to stretch it too thin. And I think I'm glad I added another swipe down here, but this is turning out so cool. Kind of what I had envisioned in my head. Right there. That's it right there. This is a winner chicken dinner. I'm gonna get cleaned up and I will bring it over for the flyover of this guy and we will go from there. Right, here it is as a whole before I bring you in, and it is, I love this piece. There's so much going on in it and I wanted it so super chaotic. I like it this way, but I also kind of like it towards the side as well. But we can look at that towards the end of the video too when it's dry. But I kind of want to bring you in. There's a lot of really nice shimmers in here from just all the different paints used. And I love the background, how it's like the sunrise. To me, that's everything for this piece. And I just love all these crazy chaotic cells that came in. May not be for everyone, but it's totally for me. Love, love, love it. And I'm curious if it'll glow under a black light. I mean, we do have the show pony in there, but we don't have a lot compared to a lot of the other colors we used. But we're gonna try that out. And I wanted to keep just a little bit of, you know, the water swipes down here, which is perfect. So I am so excited to see how this dries. So we're gonna check it out under the black light and then I'll be back to show you the dried results. Yeah, see this, the show pony and powder does glow under the black light, but when I have it mixed up, it's a lot faint. I can't get my words. It's more faint. As you can see in here, it does glow, but because it has shimmer in it as well, it's not bold in your face like some of the other neon colors, but this makes for a really cool piece under a black light. This should go in a black light room. I absolutely dig what it looks like under a black light. You know me and black light, so all right. I'll be back once this is dried to show you the dried result. And here she is all dry. This dried like a dream. And it's funny, as I'm looking at it, it looks very aquatic. Like these are all ships that are on the water. And then with the sunrise in the background, it didn't even do that on purpose. You know, we have our lake here and we do have a lot of sails you can see up out on the water there. But another thing I wanted to mention with this before we start looking at the dried piece is, I don't know if some of you noticed how I was swiping in really one direction and just kind of moving it. I wanted to do it that way to kind of represent, you know, we have a lot of tall buildings in this city and the skyline is just you know, something to be seen. So that was kind of also what I was representing here with the way I kind of made the flow of the paint. So, but as it was drying and I was watching it, I kind of caught, wow, this really looks kind of like it's moving and the there's kind of ships out on the lake or at sea or, you know, whatever you want to, whatever interpretation you want to take it. But this is my story and I'm sticking to it. So let me bring you in and show you. I mean, this piece just dried gorgeous. All the little cells in here and just how everything, the shimmers are, just wait till you see the shimmers. I love this here. These tiny little cells, they just made themselves known. And I love the background with the Zeus and the show pony. I mean, I'm so glad I did that. We have it over here. These little scoop and drags I did, they just look like sails, all of them. So, and I didn't do that on purpose. I was just kind of going with it. So let's go check out the sparkles in this piece now. Yeah. Oh. That sunrise just looks like it's glowing, doesn't it, in the background? I love, love, love all the shimmers in here. And that blue-green. It's like the sun glistening off the water. So super cool. It really does look like ships sailing in the background, doesn't it? And the more I look at it that way, and I didn't show any other orientations because this is really the orientation that I was wanting it to be, and it does look a little weird, you know, moving it around or putting it upside down. So I said, no, you know what? We're not even going to bother with that. This is the orientation we're going to go with. So I really hope you enjoyed this piece. I am so excited to see what the Massey boys have in store over at Massey Art Studios. That's where we're going to head to next for the next collab piece. The link will be in the description box below, but it's also going to be right after this video. It should automatically take you there, and we'll also put it in the chat for you if you're in the live chat for the premiere. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this piece, so let me know in the comments below. With that, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.